why no girlfriend?
Yeah.
You know, no choice, no chance, you know.
They don't drop from the sky.
Exactly.
I'll take photos of me at different MRT station. You know, that's me traveling. You know, it's like,
Like, this is the contract you have to sign, and then I'm like,
true.
yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Chatterbox. My name is Jeevan, and today we're going to be talking about what it's like to find love in Singapore. So I have three special guests with me. Let me get them to introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Elena. I'm actually from Gai Gai. We are a dating agency here. We are very different compared to the usual online dating app. We help singles to connect. We also arrange dates for them as well.
Hi, my name is Emma. I'm 34 years old. I'm a preschool educator and a mother of 4.
34 and a mom of 4, that's amazing.
Thank you.
How long have you been married?
I've been married for 8 years.
Hi, I'm Heidi. It seems like I'm the baby of the set because I'm 24 this year. I'm still a student. I'm in a relationship with my boyfriend of 1.5 years.
Before we start, we're going to play like a little icebreaker activity. So I'm going to give you like 2 options, and then I want you to say the most instinctive response that comes to your head, okay? You'll say it together, alright?
Alright.
So, first option, cafe date or bar date? 3, 2, 1.
Cafe.
Ah, okay. I don't know if it's because we have all ladies here, but I feel like there was a guy here, right?
Actually,
You
no.
probably- No?
Because I have to keep it halal.
Oh, got you. Okay,
Yeah.
understand.
And how about you?
Me? I would say I would prefer a bar because like bar you have a little bit of like alcohol there to kind of like ease up the setting. Because when you go to a cafe, things just seem a bit proper. You know, you're like a bit more.
bit more mellow.
Second
Hands up.
impression.
Yeah.
I think in a bar setting, you might get a little bit noisy, so you might not be able to know that person or hear that person really well. So I would say prefer a quiet kind of a setting, especially for a first date.
Next question for you guys: movie dates, horror or romantic comedy? 3, 2, 1.
Horror.
Whoa. Okay.
I think because not a lot of people enjoy watching horror movies, so I guess like romantic would be the more safer choice to go to.
I always thought like people go for horror movies on the first date, right? So that they can have like hold hand, you know, like go closer together. Because scared what, right? Hey, guys watching, you know, idea. But for you, Irma?
Horror movies, I feel like if let's just say I'm startled or whatsoever, then he gets to see the ugly side of me. If he wants it, then he wants it lah.
McDonald's on a first date, yay or nay?
Yay!
Really? Mine would be a nay. No. Okay, but I would love to hear what your answers.
My first date was actually like partially at McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were walking at Jurong Lake Park, and then he was like prolonging the date. So he was like, let's get a frappuccino.
The one at Taman Jurong.
So McDonald's is like special memory. It's good. I mean, we got attached after that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but the Taman Jurong one is nice because the toilet's clean.
The clean toilets are important. Clean toilets are important. Elena, you kind of like help people in this whole process of dating, right? How do you think the whole landscape, the dating landscape in Singapore is like?
I think right now, compared to like previous before in terms of online dating has really changed. Back then, it's much easier to meet people, be it whether you talk about social setting or from online dating.
From what I've seen and from what I've heard, right, it's so difficult now because there are too many ways to meet people. Last time, it's like if you like someone, you just like ask them for the number at the library or whatsoever, you know. But now it's like you have so many options. How you know you want to go out with this one and that, you know. So that's why I think it makes it slightly difficult now.
Because I feel like a lot of youngsters now, you're spot for choice.
Yes.
It's like you got so many ads, so many people, then you're like
And it's
a
so
bit.
easy to meet people.
It is.
when I see in like a uni setting, it's actually like easier because you meet people from hall, your classmates, everything. Like everyone is like young and like vibrant and like looking for fun. I think that's why there's a lot of casual dating.
Do you think Singaporeans, we are looking for long-term relationship, or are we just looking to like play the field right now?
It's like they're just dating whoever comes along. They do want to grow themselves as well. Like they want to have a career, they want this and that. But at the same time, they do not want to settle. So I guess from what I observe, it's like at the end of the day, they just want to see who is willing to settle with them along the way.
I think right now a lot of people do not want to get into a committed relationship. What Emma also mentioned, right, a lot of choices out there. But I think that's where they also don't know exactly what they're looking out for. So a lot of times it's more focusing on career first before they even talk about getting into a relationship.
It seems like we are kind of in this rat race where you need to establish yourself. So parents back then say, in secondary school, poly, don't date, don't date, focus uni, focus on studies, get a good job. Then when you do all that, right, then now they're like, why no girlfriend? You know, no choice, no chance, you know.
They don't
Yeah.
drop from the
Exactly.
I do want to wait before I get married because I want to like save up, have a lot of experience, maybe go overseas, live overseas even. But there's like a bunch of my friends who are getting like BTOs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the housing system.
Yeah.
So they actually like get, I guess, like engaged very young. Yeah, so there's like a 50.
Disparity.
Yeah, like people who don't want a BTO, they're just like, okay, never mind, like life first, you know, career, everything. Like I want to grow myself.
Yeah.
Then there's the BTO bunch which are like happily waiting for their house.
But it's quite scary because like BTO, it's like a 5-year wait and anything can happen within that 5 years.
Recently, my friend, he actually like, he got a BTO with his girlfriend and then they fell out. So they lost the deposit. And I think there's a reality for quite a lot of like young Singaporean couples who kind of have this pressure, oh, I need to quickly get a house. They adult too fast. Have you kind of seen that, Elena?
Definitely, for sure, because I think the age group of people coming to us as well, they also have a certain age group, So I guess some of them, they have also experienced similar cases where, you know, they had to cancel their BTO, and that's why they're here with us as well.
So the National Population and Talent Division, okay, MPTD, created a survey, okay, which polled more than 5,800 Singaporean citizens and permanent residents aged 21 to 45. And they described that the portion of single respondents who have never dated before and are not proactive in dating is significant. Is this like shocking statistics? Let's ask the Kai Kai
Yes,
girl.
definitely not, because we have also seen this survey ourselves as well. And we have also had a lot of people who have not dated before coming to us. Yeah, so honestly, this is not really a very shocking thing to you know, dating agencies like us.
Do they share like why they're not dating?
Oh yes, of course. That's also part of us, you know, wanting to understand what exactly is their challenge. A lot of them definitely is because, you know, they have no time, or they do have very limited social circle. I think these are the two biggest challenge that they do face.
I'm a bit shocked because there are so many dating apps. So why are people not dating?
Do you think dating apps have become now more looks-based rather than for your personality?
If it was just looks based, then they can like go on Instagram.
Okay.
But I feel like there are some dating apps like with prompts.
Okay.
Yeah, so my friends who use them actually look for funny guys, not really like the most good looking, like the gorgeous
smart friends.
guy.
Right.
Yeah, but they will like the prompts, and then they'll see like, oh, if this guy's like a red flag, green flag, whatever, they can suss.
Interesting, because most of my guy friends, when they swipe right, they swipe based on what they can see, which is the looks. And words come later. if they don't see what they like, they'll swipe.
Reality is, I think everyone wants someone who's present looking.
Yeah.
So I do think that looks definitely plays a part. I mean, of course, you have an ideal type in your head, but if let's just say that person doesn't fit into an ideal type, it's fine. Your only type is like those like who looks like oppa, then we're gonna find oppa in Singapore. You know? So it's like just, I think it's okay to just base someone on their looks, but I think bio plays a part also.
So there are some dating apps like Hinge, right? They allow you to put a voice recording.
Oh my
So
goodness, seriously?
I've heard actually some funny girls who will be like, they talk about their day, and to be honest, that is a plus point, because if someone is funny and they look decent, it's like it's a plus point. So I get what you're trying
Are
to
there someone who makes like sexy voices?
Oh, there are. Serious, yeah.
Oh my
Maybe
gosh, you guys are wild.
You should ask your niece to join Hinge.
But if you're willing to be like carefree and goofy on a dating app, you know, then it's like it shows a lot of your personality as well.
Do you have any recommendations of photos to upload?
Man holding a fish?
Oh yes, actually we do. So no, in a sense, we do have we do guide people in terms of their online dating profile if they want to continue using it. So photos wise, you don't upload like only just one photo. Yeah, so you must include like you know, traveling photos, or like things, your interests, so things that you normally do, you enjoy doing. So include photos of that.
When you were talking about Hinge using voicemail, I was thinking, if to stand up from the others, I would probably do like a pontianak screaming. I don't know, just to scare the guys. I don't know, that's the only thing that came to my mind. And I was thinking like pictures of like traveling. Then for someone who doesn't like to travel, then I'll take photos of me at different MRT stations. You know, that's me traveling, you know? It's like,
Oh, that's so quirky.
not many people can appreciate that kind of humor. So that's why I say, you know, I think finding someone with the same level sense of humor, probably you vibe better lah. Yeah.
The top reasons which those people said as to why they were single is that they have limited social circle, not having many opportunities to meet potential partners, and their preference to leave dating to chance. I quite like the third one actually, but
The
maybe
first two I can understand, but the third one is like, like on the MRT, someone's like, hi, you'd be like, oof.
But I'm all for that though. I think that's really nice. I mean, if let's just say you find someone that you kind of find attractive, you know, I don't think it's anything wrong with telling them, you know, like you look nice today, trying to get to know one another from there on. So I think it's quite nice.
But Singaporeans, we so like
I
paiseh.
say,
Like that never
yeah.
happens on the MRT.
Never.
But that was how dating was back in my time.
Yeah.
Do you think Singaporean guys should be more open and daring to just be bold to ask a girl for her number or compliment her in the public?
If I was single and someone did that to me, I wouldn't be like immediately like, yes, I'll hang out with you, but I would take note like, okay, this person was brave enough to do that. So it's still like a positive trait, I guess.
Okay, it takes a lot of guts for boys to do it. It takes a lot more guts for girls. I think girls are generally right now they are much more brave as compared to girls then. You know, it would be nice to see girls making the first move because I think guys also nowadays they seem to be a little bit more a bit more shy for some reason.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think it's good to really take this kind of different approach. It might not be on a street kind of a setting, which could be a little bit weird, but I think in the bar setting, right? I think that's alright.
For all the singles out there, right? Okay, how would you advise them to navigate the dating scene in Singapore?
It's not just about putting yourself out on like online dating apps. It's also trying out different kind of platforms. You know, there are a lot of like dating events or like social activities, and it's also about hanging out with friends, even not just your own circle.
Like, let's say if you're single, introverted, but looking to get attached, you can try like indulging in a few hobbies.
What are some first date activities that you would recommend?
I think it's good to have interactive based kind of activities, so at least it's not that awkward. You know, you feel less tense as well. I think a lot of people would normally go for like a sit down kind of a dinner or lunch setting, right? But I guess like a second activity can come in after where you actually get to know each other better through doing activities.
I would suggest like hiking or rock climbing if you want to be a bit more active, coffee hopping,
Okay, coffee hopping.
matcha hopping, or like maybe for my generation thrifting even. Yeah, so it's like it's just like to slide in some other like activity.
Think outside the box. Don't just do what every average Joe goes for a first date.
Karaoke will be fun also.
Karaoke fun also.
Yeah.
Karaoke fun. I mean, if let's just say you find that it's someone who is not shy enough, you know, karaoke will be quite fun.
Do first date impressions really count? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that means if first date really goes bad, there will be zero chance of a second date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. How about what do you think?
No, I beg to differ actually. I guess it also depends on what are the mistakes that you're talking about, right?
True.
If it's something very severe, you know, then of course perhaps not. But I think if there's still a chance for redemption, I think definitely yes. But impression counts. I think grooming is very important. The first impression. Yeah. So it's like the first 7 seconds that's where people like form that impression of you. And I think that is actually depending on how we groom, how we present ourselves.
I was on this date once. It was a date being set up by my sister. And from the photo that he sent, he looks normal, you know, like a normal Malay guy. But you imagine the first time I met him, right? You know what he said? You want to hang in my crib, yo? I'm like, what is going on? I walk like a normal person. He had one hand on his crotch the whole time. Like, and he was walking like with this swear. So totally that's a no for me. So when he was like, you know, like, you want to go on the second day, I'm like, no, thank you. No, I don't think there's any redemption for that, right? Do you think?
I think this is more towards like he's just not vibing, right?
Just really not
because he's
Very
vibing.
different
Yeah,
person.
Very different.
Yes,
I got so intimidated, I got so scared.
So wherever he is
I
right
hope he's
now,
doing good. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're relaxing in your crib now.
So now that we know a little bit about dating in Singapore, let's take a deeper dive into what finding love is like and how to keep it. Does it really matter if your partner is not your type?
It's very hard to know like what your type is unless like you've been really like you're like a professional at like dating. I think one thing good about my partner is that we didn't have similar hobbies before, but he's willing to try new things.
We are the ones defining what type suit us, right? And how do we know that? It's only after we have been on a date with this person, and that's where we determine, oh, is this the one, you know, for me? A lot of times it's really more towards like what Heidi mentioned earlier, right? Whether can you connect with this person, are you on the same frequency? I think that's what really matters. And it's also about the openness to, do things together. Doesn't have to be the same hobby. You can have different hobbies, but you're willing to actually experience it together. I think that's what's most important.
I know girls who have lists. Literally, he must tick all my boxes. What do you think about that?
One of my tick lists is just anyone who wants to date me, and that's it. So during my husband, he was the first one who approached me, and he was one who showed interest. I'm like, okay, let's go.
So I think you can have checkbox, like what Emma mentioned, right? But it's more towards like what are the things that you're willing to compromise at the end of the day.
Should we judge people based on their types? It all goes down to the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Because yes, you may have all this, but what if there's truly an amazing person that you're technically swiping away from,
If you're online dating, it's quite hard. Sometimes you might swipe away gems.
I guess it really depends on how well you know this person. So that's the downside for online dating, right? But if you are meeting this person outside and you're having a real conversation with this person, I guess that will make up for the physical attributes then if that is lacking.
Girls in general, if they find someone that they really like, they don't really care so much about the physical attributes. It's really at the end of the day who they can vibe with.
Surveys by dating platforms Bumble, Tinder and Lunch actually found that young singles are prioritizing their mental health and their boundaries when it comes to dating. I think this is great, right? Because you are now prioritizing your mental health over dating, which is good. But do you have any thoughts to share about that?
I think as they should. My dad has always taught me, you have to be sure of who you are as a person first. If at any point of time, if you're dating, right, even if they say so many nasty things about you or whatsoever, then it doesn't matter. Whatever happens in that relationship or whenever you're dating, it shouldn't make your world crumble or whatsoever.
Mental health should be first, even if it means waiting a bit longer to start dating. I do agree, to a certain extent, maybe the right partner can help you improve your mental health also, but you wouldn't want to put that responsibility on your partner. It's great if it helps, but as a person, you have to try and manage it yourself first.
Do you see that when clients come to you, Elena, they say, I don't want to date because I scared they like mess up my mental health.
Not in that extent. We assess whether or not they are suitable to go on dates with us yet. It could be perhaps previous experience and then they need time to move on. So that's where we then share with them that perhaps right now it's more about working on yourself before moving into like a relationship or even dating.
They might go on a rebound, right?
Yes, exactly. So it's always about loving yourself first.
So then should people set like clear boundaries about their emotional needs before dating? Should they be upfront? Personally, I don't lah. You won't go and say your weakness, right?
First date.
First date, yeah, I've just gone through a rough patch, I'm
emotional. I think first date it's a little bit
heavy, right? Heavy.
I think first date probably not yet lah, But maybe if let's just say there's a chance for like a second or third date, then during that whole the whole conversation that you can have with that person, then probably you can just dump it to them like bit by bit.
Yeah, because it's also part of being vulnerable, right?
Correct.
You don't want to, I think coming from a place of strength always may not be attractive. I think sometimes when you see someone coming from weakness, and that you relate, actually me too.
And at least you're honest with them. For example, if my last ex-boyfriend cheated on me, so there might be a certain point of time where I might be feeling insecure about the things that he does, then at least I hope he understands where I'm coming from, But of course, I'm not gonna be insecure all the time, but at least it would help if I'm being honest, then you can understand and maybe you can help to reassure me that there shouldn't be anything that I should be insecure about.
What advice would you give to someone wanting to be more upfront, but they are afraid to come across as like too flaky or aggressive,
So I always think honesty is definitely the best policy. So good to be upfront right from the start, lay the cards so that both of you know where you're progressing into, and that would then prevent that from happening.
So should that happen on like the first date or like maybe date number 3, date number 2, then you are upfront?
Maybe not first date, but like the first few dates you can like slowly ask. You don't have to like confront them straight up, because I think that's a bit scary. Like to like you're like preempting me like this is the contract you have to sign, and then I'm like
Maybe on the third date should probably be enough time to just see how the whole situation with that particular person is.
When is the right time to stop pursuing someone you are interested in?
When the energy levels don't match anymore.
Okay.
Like when you can tell like one person is more interested in pursuing this, then I guess maybe now is like not the correct time?
I think for me, it's when either family or personal values just don't come together or clash, you know.
I do agree with Emma. Like, I think values are very important. Like, there are people who look at religion values as well. I think that's one. Yeah. So I think all of this, once again, it goes back to your deal breakers, right? What are you able to accept and what are you not?
How do you politely let someone down while still being clear?
When the date is over, and then when I get back home, when we are texting, then probably I'll be like, this is what it is. But of course, I'll say it in a tactful manner. Hopefully, the other person just be able to take it with them, not feel like offended or whatsoever.
It's always about being honest as well, and also being mindful of people's feelings. Yeah.
So we have covered so many things about love. Now let's move on to a fun segment called Raise Your Flags. So I'll be showing you guys some clips of dating, and you guys will decide if this is a red flag or a green flag. So let's play the first clip. This is from Kuo Ta Lee. Okay, let's take a look.
Look, we really shouldn't let my mom interfere so much with the wedding.
Come on. This is the last thing, the last time that we can do something for your mom.
Yeah, but it's not like her opinions are going to affect our marriage or anything, right?
I think it's a red flag.
I think
I'm like undecided actually.
I get his point of view, but I don't like the way he
Phrased it.
Yeah, the way he phrased it.
Okay, there are many couples nowadays who say that at the end of the day, it's just me and my partner against the world, right? Like, family shouldn't matter. But I think that family's blessings, especially your mom's, is very important. It may be cliche, but I do think that a parent's blessings are very important, especially when you're going into a new phase called marriage.
I think it's always about compromising, right? What is it you can compromise as well? And I think family ties are very important because this also shows how you will behave in future if you have your own family.
I think these were great responses. So let's watch the second clip. It's by Love Shop. Okay, let's cue the clip.
So, tell me more about yourself.
Me? I'm a very bright and cheerful person. I like to make people happy. I like to go hiking.
Wait, hiking? I like hiking too, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, I'm a very outdoor person. I also like, basketball. I used to play for my high school team.
I used to play for my high school team. Oh, this is crazy. I think we have like so much in common.
I know. Oh, what kind of music do you like?
Probably a red.
I would say it's a green.
Green. Okay, maybe we ask Irma, why do you say red flag?
I assume that the girl was just trying to get into his good books and not really being true to herself. But the thing is, for Sean, for Shantia, I probably would lie also.
What I grabbed from the video is also the same as well. I guess she was trying to read off from his profile. You know, what is his interest? That's what I'm getting from the video.
I didn't catch that
I
from the
didn't.
context. Yeah.
What were you getting from that context?
Shantia.
I know, right?
Right.
Shantia. Sorry, Zina, but Shantia.
Communication-wise, I felt like it was a good back and forth. So that, for me, I felt was a green flag. Like, there was no like awkward pauses, awkward tension, and this is clearly like a first date. So for a first date, establishing common ground is normal. Hey, wow, you also play basketball. Oh my god, same, I also.
We
So,
totally caught on two different things.
yeah. So for me, I felt like this encounter was very much of a green flag. I didn't really, but after hearing what you guys shared, I'm like, okay, maybe. I'm like second guessing myself. So let's move on. It's a show called Luck Down. Let's cue the clip.
I seem to have fallen for this amazing, amazing girl in Singapore. But for the life of me, I have no idea what to do with my situation in Sydney. That's why I wanted to delay my trip to come see you. I wanted to finish off my project, pay off my divorce settlement, and then when it's all done, come and be with you.
Oh, why?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, wait, hang on now.
And he's the man.
Okay, so
Why do you think it's
the
a red
reason
flag
why
though?
I put red flag is because they divorced but haven't divorced yet. Is it? So that means he's kind of like doing things behind the girl's back, the wife's back, right?
Divorce is a very long procedure though.
It could be.
So-
Okay. It could be.
For me, it's a green flag because he seems like he is taking one step at a time. So the fact that he wants to have his life settled one thing at a time before he continues with our relationship to make sure that everything is going to go well after that. So that's why I probably give it a green flag.
Yeah, and the fact that he's on the floor, he's also keeping like his boundaries before
I
he
would never even think about
starts,
that.
like before he starts anything.
So let's watch the last and final clip. It's called Woman in Love. Let's cue the clip.
你干嘛穿到这样？
穿到怎样？你生气啊？
你的裙子这么短，穿给谁看？
穿给你看呢、
穿给我看，你自己看，这么短，全部都给人家看光了。你下回家换。去。
我怎么可能现在回家换？
你以为我在跟你开玩笑是吗？
A bit in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe more of a conservative side of things. Is
Correct,
that right? Or
yeah.
Maybe you can share first. Yeah.
This might or might not be an unpopular opinion, but I think when you're in a relationship, I think there's bound to be respect for one another. And I think it's totally fine if, let's just say, the man wants the girl to dress in a particular manner. But of course, the way he says it plays a part.
The way he put it is very aggressive. He was like ordering her. So that for me is a red flag. But then again, of course, I mean, I think if you were to put it in a nicer way, then I think that's fine, you know.
I think for me, tonality lah. The tonality was very much like ordering, and it's like I have the rights to tell you what to do, you know. Which I think that is something that no guy should have over any girl, you know. So yeah, guys, that was a very fun segment. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And you know, if you are watching and you want to check out those shows, you can head on over to Viddsee to check them out. To kind of end off, you know, last question for each of you guests. What is one final piece of advice that you have for all aspiring daters out there?
I think it's about keeping an open mind. You don't have to be afraid of rejection. I think this is a very common thing that everyone experiences, right? It's not just you alone. And going out, just gaining that kind of experience, and along the way, that's where you really get to also improve on yourself as well.
The first important thing that you should really do before you get to know someone is to really love yourself first. If you're able to love yourself, then you would have no problem loving other people in that sense. And if, let's just say, your relationship don't work out, you know, don't worry, because if you can love the wrong person that much, imagine how much more love you can love the right person.
Explore comfortably. Like you don't have to really like put yourself out there, like make yourself suffer if you don't like social situations. Do what you feel comfortable with, and if along the way you meet interesting people, then grab the chance.
Wow, there's so much beautiful advice. You know, I'm gonna take notes, actually. We have come to the end of this episode. I just want to thank all you special guests over here, Elena, Irma, and Heidi, for sharing all your amazing insights for today. I'm Jeevan, your host, signing off. Bye-bye! So if you like what you're watching, don't forget to
Like, share,
Comment.
and subscribe. Bye.